Hello and welcome to Mission Impactful, where we learn from local nonprofits who are making it their mission to create a positive impact. Hi everyone, I'm Tara Thompson-Cusack. I'm the president and CEO of the Nonprofit Network Alliance and the Troy Chamber of Commerce, and most importantly, your host. First, I'd like to take a moment and thank our presenting sponsor, Austin Benefits Group. Stay tuned to learn the Austin Advantage and how they can benefit your group. So today on Mission Impactful, we are meeting with actually a friend of mine, Jen Peters, Executive Director of the Troy Historical Society, whose mission engages the community and enables lifelong exploration of history by sharing and preserving our stories, artifacts, and buildings through creative, meaningful experiences. Now I'm going to say her bio, which is always fun to watch people listen to themselves in the bio. Jen has worked at the Village since 2018 and stepped into the role of Executive Director in 2020. Great time.
Yes. Good times.
She came to the Village with experience in organizing community outreach events and teams of volunteers, a background in archaeology and history, and a degree in historic preservation. She works with talented and passionate staff and loves collaborating with the city and community partners like the Troy Chamber. And she sees the Village as a resource and tool to connect people to the past and to each other. So, Jen, hello, and thanks for joining us today.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So let's first talk a little bit. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Troy Historic Village and Troy
Yay.
Historic Society, so this is going to be easier for me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
let's talk through some of the great programming you guys do.
Oh gosh, yes. So the core of what we do are field trips. It's a long mission statement, but to boil it down, it's education, it's history, it's community. Right. So field trips is the core of what we do. We had 28,000 visitors last year.
Wow.
13,000 of those are students, teachers, and chaperones. So we do Troy schools, but we do 4 different counties.
Okay.
So really from October through
Wait, what
June.
are the 4 counties, just so I know?
You're going to...
Is that
Oakland County.
Oakland?
Macomb.
Mm-hmm.
We get Wayne, and then we get...
Livingston? Lenawee? Which one?
I think, do we
Wash?
go to Lapeer?
Oh.
Maybe we get some
look at
Romeo
you.
schools.
Okay.
Yeah, every once in a while we throw in a Washtenaw.
Okay. So
but yeah.
again, other counties, please
Yes,
join.
yes.
Okay.
No, well, I mean, we're a unique space.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of one-room schoolhouses around, but, and everybody loves a visit to a one-room schoolhouse.
Yeah.
But that's just a small visit. And these schools really have to maximize their field trip times. And so a school that comes to us, they spend the whole day there. They do 3 or 4 different activities. They're in different spaces, and we're set up for that. And so it works very well for these teachers. They don't have to teach. We do have them in the room with us, but we have the educators teach the classes. And so the teachers get to enjoy the education.
So
at that
let's
time.
talk about those educators. What are they normally wearing? No, I was kidding.
It's a range. We have it's funny when we have a new staff person come in, there are some issued, like here's your 1880s school teacher attire, and they get that specially fitted for them, and they get a specially fitted pioneer outfit. And then they kind of go from there on other things. So, yeah.
Well, and I feel like, obviously, the educators are portraying almost the characters from that time.
It depends.
In some
So,
aspects.
yeah, when you're in the schoolroom, they do a first-person interpretation, and they explain it to the kids. We're going to do a little role-playing. We're going to have a little bit of fun. And, the teachers, we have some schools that come in and want a very strict teacher. They want the kids in trouble and all of this.
Wow.
And the stricter, the better. Because
So these are the teachers who are really tired.
Yeah, right. At the end of the
Like, I
year,
want them to be
could
really
you just
tough.
right. But the other spaces, it's maybe they're dressed up like a pioneer, but it's a little more like back in the pioneer
Yes,
days.
of course.
This is but it sets the atmosphere for kids, and really that's that immersive experience. We tried doing some programs through COVID, and it really doesn't. It's not the
translate
same.
the same,
It's
no.
not the same as sitting in that schoolroom. It's not the same as sitting in the log cabin and smelling the smoke, from the fireplace and being a little chilly because it's a chilly day. So it's not. And again, that's where the education meets the hands-on experience, and really runs from there.
So that brings up a good point. Let's talk about education.
Yes.
Let's talk about the importance of why the Historic Village, why these field trips matter,
Right.
and how this education translates to them as being future good people.
Yes,
is
yes.
a nice way of saying
Well,
it.
that's my current mantra: is education plus experience equals empathy. right? If we can start to put ourselves in the place of somebody else's experience and understand what was it like for a pioneer to come out and not have the grocery store right down the road, or not have friends to play with instantly. What were those experiences like? What if I had to do my laundry every day? What if I had what if I was in a classroom with everybody from 5th graders to 16-year-olds, or 5-year-olds to 16-year-olds, right? So putting
What does
yourself
that
in
look
those,
like? Yeah.
what does that look like? And then how does that help you understand yourself better, and other people better, your community better? If I'm taking a little personal privilege, I think we're sorely lacking empathy right now.
I would 100% agree with
Right,
you. And
right.
I feel like that is one of the most important traits you need to have. And a lot
Yeah.
of people don't even know. Like, I always laugh when people mess up the word empathy with sympathy.
Right.
I'm like, that's not empathy.
Well, and empathy can be seen
there's
as
part-
like too soft.
No,
you're not tough if you have empathy.
It's
No.
understanding.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
actually trying to put yourself
Right.
into someone else's shoes so you can get a better understanding of people. So I love that you guys are actually using that as a focus.
Yeah, and especially at those fundamental, first, second, third grade years, we have a 5th grade program that's Indigenous Voices, where those 5th graders come and we have Native American presenters from across the state come in for that. And so they can ask those questions that maybe feel a little bit awkward, but to help understand them better. And then in 8th grade, we do a Civil War Days program, because that matches up with what's in the history book. But we have Abraham Lincoln.
I've
We
met
have
Abe- I've
Sojourner.
met Abe
You've
once
met
when I've
Abe.
come,
Yep.
so.
Yep. We have Sojourner Truth tell her story. We have them try to understand what it would be like. A soldier's life would be like, all these things that you're going to pack on, and you're going to walk away from your family, and you may come back with all your limbs or you may not, and so hitting those at those young ages is really important. But then we also do a lot of community programs where we're bringing in people from all over the community. We have history talks. Learning never ends.
No, and it shouldn't.
And it shouldn't. We have blacksmithing classes. We have watercolor classes. So again, it's the hands-on, really being that third space. So your first space being your home, your second place being your space being your work, but your third space being the spaces where you interact with others and get to know them. And again, coming back to that empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what one thing that's coming up, obviously, it is America's 250th
It is.
celebration anniversary.
Yes.
So what is Troy Historic Village doing for that?
Right. So we looked at kind of a whole, we are not a Revolutionary War space.
No.
We're not the East Coast.
No.
So what are we? Well, getting to know that better is what we wanted to do. So telling Troy's stories is what we're doing. And we do a good job with the history from the 1800s, early 1900s. And then our history actually, what we have in our collection actually drops off a little bit. So we don't have a lot of recent history. And really from 1950 to today, Troy has changed immensely. It's an incredibly diverse community. I love hearing all of the languages. I love all the food that we get to eat for that reason. But we haven't captured a lot of that history. And so we're trying to very intentionally go get those stories so that in 50 years and 100 years, the next people who are at the village can look back and say, oh, that's what it was like at that time. That's what it was like as the community was changing. So, but also going back into history a little bit. And again, that jumping into those first people who moved here from out east, mostly from New York, what was that like? We don't know a lot about the indigenous culture here. There were not a lot of settlements right in this area, so we don't focus on that very much, but understanding that that was a part of our story. So yeah, we're telling Troy's stories, which is great. And it's something that we wanted to get some groundwork for so we can continue that, because that is ongoing work. History doesn't stop.
No, but I love that you're focusing on the new cultures coming in. I
Yes.
was laughing. I went for a walk the other day at Gene Stein Park.
Yeah.
And I just went I was gone maybe 30 minutes. I passed by about 5 different groups of people. Not one was speaking English.
No,
but
isn't
they
that
were also
fantastic?
speaking other language. I mean, it wasn't all one language as well.
Right.
It was a multitude. And I actually had such a moment of pride. Like I smiled. I felt like the geeky girl, like grinning ear to ear of like, look at how wonderful and inviting our community is, and that's what we need to be.
My teenage son has come to help with, because we all know when nonprofits, Your families involved.
Thank you to all the families
Yes,
involved with
yes.
nonprofit and people. So,
But my teenage son has come to help with some of our programs, and he loves it.
Yeah.
He notices that. And I've said, from the first year that I was here doing trick or treat, I heard at least 5 different languages in the village, and here are all these people experiencing trick or treat, Halloween, a very, very American thing, all in their own ways. But here at the village,
and they're American.
Yes.
And
that's
what makes my heart proud.
No, and
to see the
I love
cultures
it.
together
I love
is what
it.
makes sense
Yes.
to me.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I
We
love
are-
that you're looking at those history markers as well.
And trying to, and those are hard. Especially with the politics that we have right
For sure.
now. People don't necessarily want to share that. So again, that's why we want to lay the groundwork, so that we're ready when people are ready to share those things.
I love it. Well, guys, I think this is a good moment to take a quick break and hear a word from our presenting sponsor, Austin Benefits Group. We'll be right back.
It's Dean Austin, President and CEO of Austin Benefits Group, proudly serving as the official benefit provider of the Detroit Lions Radio Network. Is your HR team helping you grow your business, or are they swamped with the day-to-day services that your current broker should be doing? The right benefits company can make your team feel valued, supported, leading to massive wins. Elevate your business. Empower your team with the Austin Advantage. Let's build a healthier, stronger Detroit together.
Welcome back to Mission Impactful, presented by Austin Benefits Group. We're here with Jen from Troy Historical Society. Okay, before we talk about some of your big events, because I know a lot about those ones, I have to read this part. So you most recently received the Michigan Museum Association Peninsula Prize for Advocacy. So, A, what is that? And tell me a little bit about the award and the impact it is.
Right. Advocacy is sharing your story and building those relationships, right? So here at the Village, we have a lot of tremendous support from, everything as local as our city council, up to our state representative, state senator. And then I'm still working on that next national level. I'm getting there.
You get it.
Yeah. The governor's office, we've had Garland Gilchrist out for some of our programs. So just number one, it's relationship building, and then number two is just putting a voice to the things that you're passionate about. And as you can tell, it's not hard for me to talk about that. But yeah, so I've done a couple advocacy days at the State House, and then went to DC this last year. But the big thing was we were granted a large, we received a large grant last year, right around this time, Leo grant for our West End expansion project, $400,000.
Amazing.
That we have about 5 years to work through. But this past December, it got rescinded with $650 million of other projects.
Correct.
And so having those relationships meant that I could immediately reach out to our representatives to find out what was going on, to see what we could do, but also connecting everybody else on that museum's grant. There were 20 of us affected, to keep them up to date with things. So really working through that. And as a whole, the decision was anything that was encumbered by September 15th is good to go. So we're good to go with that grant.
Okay, good.
Unfortunately, some people lost some funding in that whole deal. But right now we're working towards the next Michigan state budget. And so we have pull back and forth right now between the Republicans and Democrats on funding, like we always do.
Yeah.
And we're working to ensure that we have funding for the Michigan Arts and Culture Council, which we receive. Yes. They changed it to just MAC. Yes, yeah, I know.
All the arts people used to say it that way, and we smiled through it. But that does go through the aspect of how important it is to support our local museums and villages, because a lot of you guys are funded very heavily on grants, and that's what keeps you guys going. And when you see a loss, a dramatic loss, how you guys recoup that, you do depend on donations. You do depend on the community.
Our funding is cobbled together.
Yeah.
Any nonprofits is cobbled together. We're not strictly, and we get a lot of funding through our programs that we do, but we don't want to charge too much. We
it
look
ruins
around.
the point of what you're doing.
Right. Our school trips are $9.50, $10 a kid. sometimes the bus costs more
For sure.
than the trip at the village. And we want to maintain that affordable cost for people. And so that's where the grant funding comes in. We have support from the city. We have donors who are fantastic as well. But if you lose any, even if you've got a diversified revenue stream, which we do, if you lose any one of those pieces, now
it's a huge hurt to an organization.
Yep.
So, but as you're talking about this, we are talking fundraisers.
Yes.
So you guys do have some pretty incredible
awesome
fundraisers.
Yep.
So let's start talking a little bit about Traffic Jam.
Oh, yes. Yes. So, Traffic Jam. This is our 18th year for Traffic Jam.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And has slowly been expanding. The last few years, we've put a lot into kind of leveling up. Okay. And so it's a car show, but it's not your typical car show. We have tech talks where we have engineers and industry leaders come in sharing like the newest stuff they have, which is awesome.
So cool.
Normally
it stays with the education theme too.
Yes, and that is part of why that theme is in there. But typically you'd have to pay a ticket price to go see something like that, and this is a free event. We are asking for parking this year, because it is a fundraiser.
That's good to help recoup fundraising dollars. So
it is a fundraiser.
Job.
Yeah, most of the fundraising is done through the sponsorships, and then there's a fee for people who want to put their car in the show. Mm-hmm. But we make sure there are family-friendly events and activities. There's a pedal car race. We have robotics demonstrations, again in that education. This year I think we have Center for Creative Studies with a demonstration on design.
Oh, wow.
We have some artists.
Well, and CCS is very well known for that.
Yes. So again, just kind of hitting a lot of different aspects. And then we're celebrating 250 this year. So you'll see a lot of red, white, and blue. You'll see the cars that built America. We've got some historic military vehicles coming. So some really fun stuff for that. So it's, yes, it's a fundraiser for us, but it's also a major event in Southeast Michigan and in Troy.
A huge
it does.
audience. It
yeah,
actually
so
fills
over
hotel
7,000
rooms.
people. Over 7,000 people. Yep, easily. And we have 360 cars. So again, it's nothing to, you don't want to miss out. No. It's usually a warm day. But it's the first Sunday in August.
Warm was an understatement.
Yes,
but okay,
yes,
great.
First Sunday in August. That's what you're going to get. But a fantastic day, just jam-packed full of stuff. Yeah.
Every time I've seen it, I've seen nothing but smiles. And
oh yeah.
I think there's nothing cooler than seeing the littles walk around and be like,
I
want that one.
Right.
I want that one.
Right.
And it just makes your heart happy.
Yeah. And again, we're there are some great car shows out there, but I think what sets us apart is that we are so family friendly, and you see such a range of people. We have our robotics kids who are doing demonstrations sometimes want to skip out on their demonstrations to go to the tech talks, right?
I believe it.
But we talk about like what's the next generation going to be interested in and how to get them interested, and how to continue this this heritage that we have in Southeast Michigan of building fantastic cars, putting the world on wheels.
It's our own history.
It is. Yep. So, yes, please come out. Fantastic event. Be part of that. Be looking for that.
Okay, so I do love Traffic Jam, but before we wrap things up, we have to talk about my favorite.
Right.
Which is Scarecrow.
Scarecrow Row.
So tell me about Scarecrow Row and how people can get involved and what they should expect other than a lot of scarecrows.
A lot of scarecrows. I think we had 87 last year.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, this started out with like a dozen at most.
Oh,
10
really?
or 12 scarecrows.
How long has it been going on? As long as Traffic Jam?
No,
okay, I was gonna say, I thought
at
it was
like year
after.
13 or 14,
Perfect.
I believe, with
Okay.
Scarecrows. And it started as like, how can we get a little more visibility on the corner that we're on? So we're at Livernois and Waddles, and we have every week somebody comes in and says, well, I never knew what you guys were, because until you walk into the village, you can't really see what it is. And so how do you draw attention to that? How do you get people to stop and look and not cause an accident?
Yeah. We are very cognizant of this.
And so they were like, well, let's put some scarecrows out. Let's do a little bit of visibility. And then that turned
put
into
some
scarecrows out, right? All of our scarecrows are sponsored by local businesses or organizations. And so it is a fundraiser for us. It raises about $20,000 a year.
Fantastic.
It is. And it's a lot of fun for families. every year we go to put them up. We are not finished putting them up when the first car pulls in to go walk Scarecrow Row. I mean, we're still putting signs in the ground. We're still, and so people have made it an annual tradition to come see the scarecrows.
Well, and what a great way to introduce the community to come. I mean,
Yes.
come to the
Yes.
village. And when you see it, and Scarecrow Row, yes, that's just one opportunity.
Right.
But you get to kind of still experience all the great things the village has and also scarecrows.
Yeah. And I mean, we cannot be open 24/7.
No.
Right? So you can
Unless
come.
we receive a grant
Yes.
of about $12 million.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Right? We'll
yes.
take care of that.
Thank you. But scarecrows are out there day and night, and so people incorporate it into their walk, or like I said, swing by to see them. But
And is that the start of, end of September or start of October?
Right, full month of October that
Perfect.
they're out. We do have some scarecrows that travel with us to Troy Family Days.
Obviously.
So we have about 30 of those that come with us. They get a little more visibility. But yeah, we start selling scarecrows in February. No, April. April. We held
I'm
off
sure
a little
there's
bit.
some February
Yeah,
people.
there are some people asking already, but we'll sell them through the summer. We have you can build them yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We have a team of volunteers who will also build them for a little bit of an upcharge because it is a fundraiser.
As it should be.
Yes, but they are a lot of fun, and to see the creativity that people have with their scarecrows is just a blast.
I love it.
I mean, it's just like, homegrown, hometown, like
Community.
community,
Exactly what you
Community.
embody.
Yes.
Community.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
Jen, thank you so much for joining us. It's been
Absolutely.
really great learning about the village. I mean, I know a lot, but I would love viewers to experience all the great things you guys are
Right.
having.
Right.
So,
Yeah, check out our website.
what is the website?
TroyHistoricVillage.org. Yes. You'll see all of our programs. You'll see our opening hours, all of that good stuff. You can always sign up to get emails. We do not email you every day.
Perfect.
We email you every 2 weeks or so with what's coming up, all of that good stuff.
And there's lots of cool activities that we didn't even discuss.
Oh,
So,
no, I know.
So-
Yeah. The creative.
This could be a 12-hour podcast.
Yes, it could be.
So.
Yeah, we try to, again, on our website, on social media, again, those blasts of what we're doing. We love that the size that we are, because we're big enough and small enough that we can try some new things, get really creative, work with our community partners, all of that. It's a lot of fun to be working here in Troy and with the village, and just
I love it.
excellent time.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Jen.
Yes.
And guys, that's all we have here today on Mission Impactful, presented by Austin Benefits Group. To learn more about the Nonprofit Network Alliance, go to troychamber.com. And I hope today you make it your mission to be impactful. Thanks, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.